Cleveland Browns. Who do you got? Best value.
Okay, best value. Honestly, nobody. Because here's the difficult thing. Like Baker Mayfield, like, okay, so Kevin Stefanski being the head coach, implementing that system, we've seen what it is in his time in Minnesota. So it's like, okay, sure, I would prefer if I was starting my own team to take Baker Mayfield over Kirk Cousins, but even then the argument is fairly negligible if you want to go a certain way or whatever. I'm not going to call you an idiot, is what it is. But my point being in bringing that up is that in that type of system, with it being so run heavy, like you will get QB1 weeks depending on matchup. But if you're going to rely on Baker Mayfield in a relatively quote unquote standard sized league, you're going to have some problems. In a deeper league, in a super flex league, whatever, like, okay, that's a different conversation. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. As far as the running backs go, I mean, like, Nick Chubb, we know who he is. It's just like
they're priced pretty accurately, I would say. Like
exactly.
I think what you're getting at is their value is pretty well accurately. They're both Hunt and Chubb are accurately priced. You see in Chubb at the end of the first round, you see in Hunt in the third or fourth as a flex running, like a RB3 or a flex, or an RB2 in a zero RB strategy. Or a modified zero RB, you're getting Kareem Hunt a little bit later because he doesn't get as many looks, but he's a PPR monster, and it makes sense. The wide receivers, I mean, you got some pretty safe options, but they're like, I think the Browns are pretty accurately priced, and that's why I agree with you.
Yeah.
The value just isn't there because you're not seeing a bunch of that slip up. I mean, I guess if anybody's a value, it'd be OBJ because nobody really wants him. But I'm not getting stuck with that bag anymore. Like if he's going to put out another mediocre season with all the upside that he possesses as an athlete because he's a head case, I don't want that.
And honestly, I mean, like I've said this on multiple other shows, and I've said this on Twitter a few times as well. Odell Beckham Jr. Even if you try and speak objectively about what has happened over the last few years of his career, the minute his name is mentioned, it becomes a completely different conversation. I don't know that it's possible for anybody to attempt to value him properly because he has that star power that once upon a time we all believed he could be the next Jerry Rice or something. It's just I've given up. Honestly,
he very well could have been. He very well could have been.
He could have been.
But now he's an enigma. He's literally the biggest enigma at the wide receiver position.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult. Like honestly, when it comes to my rankings, I honestly don't even have it. And I don't say this in any sort of negative way. It's just like I don't have him ranked because I can't. I'm so in my own head about it that I just can't do it.
So his range of outcomes. His range of outcomes is between wide receiver 5 and wide receiver 55, and that scares the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, it's like you're on your own. If you want to take that chance, you're on your own. Go with your opinion. But as far as Herms goes, I can't even give an opinion. I gave up. I resigned from any responsibility related to Odell Beckham, and also like Jarvis Landry doing his thing. I mean, like he could be okay, but at the same time, because even last year things were complicated coming off of the hip surgery and whatnot. He's only getting older. That's the hips are he's an important thing to have.
He's been a good player his whole career, but he's never been great.
Exactly. So it's just like
when he was getting all the volume, he wasn't scoring touchdowns. When he was scoring touchdowns, he wasn't making any big plays alongside it. And you can always count on him being open because he's one of the best route runners still in the league, but he's not the athlete he used to be. He's broken down. And I mean, obviously you see him available late in a redraft. You're going to say, "Hey, Jarvis Landry's still there. Let's get him." I mean, I might have to start him in case of injury. Like if I have to break the glass to get the axe, then Jarvis Landry's just fine. He had a couple very big weeks last year where he was the guy.
In case of emergency, use Jarvis Landry.
Yes, he's very steady. But if you're going to try to predict when he's going to have his best weeks, you're going to be left wanting.